Hey there guys, this is Vlad from Retro Gear, and today I wanted to shoot a quick comparison video between two very common hand saws. Those two saws are the Bahco Laplander and the Silky F180. Now you might remember way back a couple years ago, I did a comparison video between the Bahco Laplander and the Silky Gomboy. And in that video, I thought that the Bahco won, and I think in some cases it did, because the teeth on the Silky were much finer, and so it was a little bit of a slower cut. But some of you guys commented on that video that a more proper comparison would have been the Bahco Laplander against the Silky F180. And I agree with that, because just in terms of their construction and the teeth size, they're a much better comparison. So I've been using both of these saws out here in the woods quite extensively for months and months and years. Actually, I've been out here doing this forestry out here, limbing trees, and I've carried them extensively, and I think I can get a pretty fair comparison on the two saws. So in terms of weight, they are almost exactly the same weight. I don't know the weights exactly, but picking them up, there's basically no distinguishable difference between the weights and the saws. They're also fairly the same size when you fold them up, as you can see there. Almost exactly the same length. Thickness, the Bahco is a little bit thicker than the Silky, but very, very comparable in terms of size. Both of them fit easily in a side pocket, kind of like this, or we do make a sheath for them, but fit very easily in there, easy to pull out. In terms of cost, the Silky is a lot more expensive. I think the Silky F180 runs about $30 or so, and the Bahco is about $20. So $10 more. But I will say right away, in my opinion, I think that it's worth it paying the extra $10 for the Silky. And that's because, as I'll show you later, it cuts way faster. The build quality is better. It stays sharper way longer. And it basically serves the same purpose as the Bahco. In almost all cases, it's just better. In terms of construction, both are constructed fairly similarly. The Bahco comes in a green handle, which is nice if you want it to be hidden, but sometimes that's a problem. If you're working out in the woods like this and you drop it into the brush, so I painted it orange, it's kind of wearing off. On the other hand, though, the Silky does have the nice red, and it makes it a lot harder to drop and lose. Both are secured here with a nice metal nut and screw on each side, so pretty well secured into there. The Bahco has a lock on the side here, which keeps it locked both in the closed and the open position. And the Silky does not have a lock in the closed position. It's only in the open position, and then that locks up on top. And even though the little top lock is plastic, it actually has a metal insert there which holds it in place. And like all Silkies, it has that second extended position, which I never use. So that's kind of the difference there. In terms of teeth, though, the Bahco has smaller teeth, but they cut in both directions. So it cuts both on the push and the pull. And the Silky, which has the large size teeth, the 7.5 teeth per inch, cuts only on the pull, but they are bigger. In terms of how comfortable they are, I would say that the Silky is a little more comfortable to hold, because it has these finger choils and the rubberized grip on the back, which gives a really nice grip. The Bahco also has a kind of rubberized texture and rubberized grip, but it's not as doesn't fit in the hand quite as nicely, but that's kind of up to personal preference. So almost in all dimensions, they're very similar, but what really sets them apart is the quality of the blade and how fast they cut. So let me show you that here. All right, so we have here a little branch. It's about, I don't know, 2.5 inches thick. And we have our 2 saws. So let's see. I'm gonna try first a single-handed cut, and then I'll try to do a double-handed cut and see how the difference is. So we'll start with the Silky, and on a single-handed cut, here we go. It's a wet log, just cut down. See how it goes. All right, pretty quick. Remember that these only cut on the pull. So there is that kind of a learning curve of being able to kind of cut in that circular motion. Otherwise, if you push too hard on the push, you might end up snapping it. And that's happened to me before. But once you get the hang of it, it's much faster. So really quick. The Bahco, and both of these have been used. And you know, somebody might say that, well, you've used them both and they're not as sharp. Thing is though, the Silky blade lasts way longer than the Bahco. So maybe if you were to get these both brand new, the Bahco might cut faster. But that's the thing about the Silky, is that you can use it longer and it'll stay sharp way longer. So I do still believe that the Silky cuts faster out of the box than the Bahco out of the box. But here is a comparison here. So this does cut both ways, so keep that in mind. Oh man, it's actually a lot harder than I expected. It seizes up way faster and it doesn't cut nearly as quickly. So yeah, this is the struggle. Man, this is worse than I expected. The resin is really catching on this blade and not letting me finish the cut. All right, well, made it through. Man, that got me out of breath. Much harder to cut, especially wet wood with the Bahco. Let me see if I can do it with both hands. It'll be faster that way. All right, let's see if I can do this. All right, a little smoother that time. So, considerably more effort needed to cut with this, especially through the wet wood, versus this Silky. With both hands on this thing, I mean, it's gonna be a breeze if I can get it situated here. So, I mean, look at that. That was at least twice as fast. So there you go, guys. Just a little comparison video. Hopefully that's useful. But if you're looking for a good saw that will last you a long time and will stay sharp for a long time, I would go for the Silky. If you're on a tight budget though, the Bahco is still a great saw. It's a lot better than a lot of them out there, but I think you just can't beat the quality of Silky. So there you go, guys. Have any questions or comments? Please leave them down in the comments below. I'll also include links where you can purchase these if you want to down in the description below. And as always, have a great day. Don't forget to praise God, and I will see you next time. Over and out.